Okay, welcome back. Let's see. I've been doing some thinking about what we're going to do next, and I think strategically our best option is actually to just buy these three small fields around the map. Let's find the pickup here, and this is going to give us a little bit of the fields aren't expensive. I would like to have, got the price reduced all the way, but these fields are so reasonably priced because of their size that the extra, 5% that we're going to get off is just not going to make that much difference. So I think it's just best that we take these fields right now and then start getting them harvested. We can grow our farm just a little bit more. We do have the money to do it. So we're going to take field 20 here, field 9, and then of course down here field 31, which we're actually going to end up being it's going to be the sacrificial lamb, so we can put all of our buildings and such like that down here. It's kind of a long ways out of the way, but none of these other fields, I just don't want to tear them up. And this one here, although it's little, it's so close to these two that you could do a triangular set of fields here and get a pretty decent um, harvest out of it. So I think that it's just best to do this now, and then we'll get the thing harvested. So yeah, I mean, let's see. 10% of 71,000 would be 7,100. So 14,000 would be the difference. It would still be, we're talking 56 and a half. 56,000 would be the total amount of discount. So about $15,000. I'm not sure that I think it's better to have the field now because we'll be able to make that money up shortly. So we're just going to buy that straight right now, and let's cruise up to the other end of town here. And this way we can get our harvester, get a new harvester, and get going on things that we need to do to get our cattle running. So we need these wheat and barley fields to get straw. There's plenty of hay and silage. Actually had ended up with more silage than hay, which I thought was not going to be that way. Um, let's get that started here. Whoa, a little wild. Uncle Jesse would be very upset. He says the most important thing to running a farm, other than the people that you have working it, is your truck, your pickup. You get a good one, take care of it. Its utility is unmatched in farming. You could use it to do things that you use a tractor for sometimes. If you got a tractor that goes down, you got to run and get parts, or you're hauling something around, or you got to hook up to a grain trailer. You can do it with your pickup, so take care of it. Don't wreck it. Now, I'm not sure why I'm at the shop here. I guess we could have stopped in there and had all the damage repaired. We'll stop right quick right over here to pick up this little field as well. They're a bunch of small fields, but I think this one, this is barley right here. This is going to give us quite a bit of straw to get started so we can load up on our cows, because we are going to need a lot, and I mean a lot of, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Hold on, let me just escape here real quick so it'll cancel out there we go. Oh, so I jumped in the truck and canceled it out. We're not wanting to do the mission, we're wanting to buy the field so we can have the crops. Okay, good. So we failed. That's fine. Not a big deal. Let's go back in here and buy it instead of. See, it's only half a hectare. Oh my gosh, I just did it again. We got trouble with the buttons right now. Trouble with the buttons. Waste another 10 seconds. Yeah. Okay. One more time. Nice and easy. Take your time. Click the right button. There we go. Now we own it. Now all the way to the bottom end of the map. Let's go. We could just warp over there, but I don't want to do that. And also, I was thinking about what harvester we should get, and I think we'll get the big case. And the reason for that is one is when I'm actually doing the harvesting, the turning radius is spectacular, and it can you can fit an enormous header on it. And although it's probably too big for this map, I look at it this way: you're going to spend a whole bunch of money on a harvester, right? You might as well go big because the faster your fields can get harvested, the faster you can get them planted, and the quicker your turnaround for the next harvest is. So that's always kind of my approach. And these fields are nice and open. You know, there's not a lot of things to run into. Traffic doesn't seem to get in the way, and you know, there's no fences or shrubs to snag on or anything like that. So the big harvester with the great big header will be of great benefit. I think we might have missed our turn. We did miss our turn. Alright, you know. And now we just ran into that. Steering on this is very wonky. I think it's better with the steering wheel, but I don't have a steering wheel for the Xbox. And I'm not going to buy one for the Xbox because I don't like their racing games. I'm not sure I'll like the new Sony racing games either. I was not impressed with Gran Turismo Sport. I thought that they did a poor job with the braking mechanics. You had no brakes, no brakes, no brakes, and then you had more brakes than you could handle. The rest of it wasn't too bad. I just didn't like the physics model of the braking system. I would like to see them do better, but I don't know. And this is soybeans, so. And we're just going to buy this one outright. And wow, boom, got that right the first time. All right, excellent. Now, we need to get our harvester out here so we can get going on these fields. What I end up doing is we just get a worker on them so we can do some other things. The locals are getting a little upset. Not upset, but their patience is running out a little bit because I promised them some trees, some fruit trees, some apple trees, and a few greenhouses for the community garden over by some residential areas. And they're wanting to know where the heck that stuff is so they can start growing some crops for their house. Well, that makes sense, you know, when you come in and you say you're going to do this, that, and the other thing, you're expected to follow through. So that's what we need to get done. We need to flip over here and get our harvester. We're going to be spending a whole bunch of money here real shortly. We also want to get the Homer. I think it's variant Eco. Looks like our folks are back to normal here. Their zombie illness is run out. Maybe they got a shot for it. Maybe the FDA hurried up and made them a temporary shot, or they got an experimental medication. Who knows? And we will just get set to work on these fields. Probably going to want to get our truck over here and haul the harvester over because it's not going to go. It does not have a high road speed. None of them do, except for the great big New Holland one, and it's pretty snappy in terms of what a harvester can do. All right, so we are going into here. We're going to get the big case, which is the 9320. 571 horsepower, 12,330 liters. It can harvest everything but the root crops and sugarcane. And we've got a couple of options. I think, let's see here. You get 15 miles per hour no matter what you do, and I think the front twin wheels will look pretty sweet. So we're going to pick that up. Boom. And we also need the header, which is a great big 45-foot draper header. It's got its own trailer mechanism, something that it can haul itself, or we can use the truck to haul it. You know what? We're just going to reel right over to our little bitty field just over here by the chicken pen. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to hook that up to that. We'll be able to harvest that field in one go with this harvester. It's got a large enough tank size. Maybe 2 passes in these little fields will be taken care of. Let's not do that. Let's not go that way. We are a road hazard at this point because we are slow moving and large. So let's get our beacons on. So at least they know where the harvester is. And apparently the trailer doesn't have any beacons on it, so it's just got a warning flag. We can turn the headlights on for safety. Not to help us see, but to help others see us. Just in case they miss this gigantic red machine driving down their street. Should have had the locals close off traffic while we did this. It hasn't been too bad there. There's a few others coming. Turn those speakers off now. Pull this in here. Straighten that header out and attach. Oh yes. Very good. Okay, that straw swap is enabled. And here we go. Yeah, just be a couple of turns. We'll just go ahead and do this little field. And then I'll set the hired help onto the other fields. And then we can get the greenhouses set up. So the locals can start growing some lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, pick some apples when they're ready to go. I find what's always interesting with equipment. Everybody wants to know how much horsepower the machine has, which is understandable because horsepower sells. It's a big sexy term. Everybody wants a lot, but the reality of it is you want to know what the torque of these machines are. And unfortunately, we don't get that rating. But never fear, I know how to calculate it. So we can get the torque rating. The reason torque is so important is because torque is what allows you to do work. Horsepower is how fast you can do it, but torque is what allows you to do it. It's what allows you to pull heavy loads, to maintain your speeds going uphill, and acceleration. That's all about torque. And unfortunately, we don't have those numbers. But if you see over here, you see this 1896. What I've noticed is that all the vehicles here, except for probably the pickup, they all have a 1900 RPM maximum. Right? 1896 is close enough to 1900. So in order to get our torque rating, we have to take our horsepower rating. We have to multiply that by 5,252. And then divide that, and then divide that by your RPMs, which is what's going to give us our torque value. So if we took our horsepower rating, which is 571, times 5252, divided by 1900, that gives us a torque rating of 1,578 pound-feet, which is absolutely awesome. Incredible amount of torque. So let's think of a reference. What has a lot of torque that you might pick up, just on the street somewhere? Um, let's say maybe one of those new Dodge diesel pickups, those little four cylinders, or even the big diesel pickups. I don't think that. Oops, I keep hitting reverse. I don't know that any of those trucks have more than 600 pound-feet of torque. Now they could, they definitely could, but I highly doubt that too many of them have a huge amount of torque compared to this. But also, you know, gearing and all that is what that's what's going to allow the harvester to cut down all these crops, run the header, you know, um, and do it at a reasonable speed. You have to remember that the engine is running more than just the vehicle. It's got the auger has to run, and the header has to run off of the engine and all of that stuff. And I hate to tell you, but your dually pickup isn't going to be cutting down a lot of hay or cutting down a lot of wheat or corn. It might have lots of torque so you can haul light vehicles, but it's not going to be doing what the harvester is. Oh my goodness, I cannot use this trailer. Okay, uh, Plan B, 57B here. Hold on. Big mistake here. We forgot to do something incredibly important. We need a trailer that we can use because that was full of pig food. Keep driving down across this field. We're going to tear up our suspension on this truck or blow a tire. Alright, what do we need? We need another trailer. Just a temporary one, so we'll just lease it for a little bit because we're going to use the IT runner set. And, oh gosh, how much did that have in it? It had quite a bit. Let's just lease this. Oops. Let's just lease this AgroLiner here. Oh my goodness, yeah, we'll lease it for $2,000. It's incredibly expensive, but we'll get some use out of it today, since our other one is full of pig food still. And we just have to return this. About to run out of time here, so I'll probably end up, we'll get this emptied out, and since this is barley, and I want to say the other field is wheat over here. Nope, it's a barley field. No, this is wheat. Oh, jeez. So this is wheat, and this number 20 is a barley field. There's barley and barley in our old field. So I have to get this wheat emptied out, and then we'll take the harvester across the back roads here and get it over to that other field so we can get the barley picked up. Of course, the cover. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This little dip in the road there, right under that tree, that can send everything. That'll really upset your vehicle and send you sideways quite fast. I only actually fell off of that bridge one time. I want to turn down the return signal. No. It was right over here to field 20. I think that's what it was. Field 20. I'll have to keep this trailer for a little bit longer too, so we can collect the straw that's out of it. This is our next stop here. Okay. This will be a slow trip, so I'll probably just what I'll do is I'll get over there off camera and then come back when we're done, and I will see you over at Field 20. I want to say thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.